Marc Riley on Six Music, and I'm delighted to say rejoined by the Antlers. I say rejoined because you came and did a session for us a couple of years ago, wasn't it now?
Yeah, I think so.
And you've come back, which is always a huge relief. And delighted to see you. Like I said, I've just told the listeners that I was supposed to be going to see you tonight in Manchester. Can't, but I caught you the weekend at the Constellations Festival in Leeds.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, did you enjoy that?
He loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was excellent. I mean, they had a load of global lamps hanging over the stage, so it looked like you were in an installation.
Yeah, it was very pretty.
It was very, very nice indeed. A constellation indeed. Did you catch any of the other bands who were playing at the weekend?
We saw some of Braids as much as we could, and they're friends of ours, and they're one of our favorite bands.
Yeah,
so.
they're supposed to be great, actually. In fact, have they been touring with Wild Beasts already?
I think they just started, yeah.
Right, okay, all right. I need to catch up with those guys, definitely. Peter, introduce a band, please, mate, will you?
Well, we've got Darby Seaside over there on piano and modular synth.
I can't see him from where we are at the moment. We need to remedy this.
I can duck if you want.
Yeah, oh, hello.
Hey.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, excellent.
How's it going?
We've got Michael Lerner on the drums.
Absolutely.
We've got Tim Mislock currently on bass and later on guitar. And I'm Peter Silberman, and I am singing and playing guitar.
Great. Well, you know, it's historic because there'll be a plaque outside the building later on, the Antlers' first band to play live in this building. So we're delighted that you're here.
I was hoping for a statue, but...
A statue, we can work on that. It's no bother. Yeah, I've got some Play-Doh underneath the desk. I always keep that around just to entertain myself, you know.
Put our hands in some cement or something.
Yeah.
Foundation.
Yeah, definitely. That would have been a good idea as well. But,
maybe a bench.
A bench. I don't know. You're hard to please, really. I've already ordered the statue now.
Well, all right.
What can we do? So the Antlers live in session. What's the first tune you're going to do for us, fellas?
We're going to play Parentheses.
Brilliant. Darby, I know I can't see you, but you
can see that.
You know, the microphone, I was watching you do it with interest on Saturday night when you played in Leeds, but you've got the microphone, and it kind of switches between sounding like a humpback whale song and then birds. Is it kind of supposed to be a natural element to the music, or does it go elsewhere that I've not noticed yet?
I was thinking more of a killer whale, but yeah.
Killer whale, really? You won't have seen that program that is on the BBC at the moment called Frozen Planet.
Yeah, we were watching it the other night.
Oh, it's amazing where the orca are rocking the ice with the seal on it.
I know, it's insane.
Yeah, clever beasts, clever beast. Right, okay, so I tell you what, do a tune and then we'll have a bit of a conversation. So what's next, please, the Antlers?
We're going to do No Widows.
Okay, brilliant, love it.
If I never get back home, there's no garden overgrown, no widows in the walls, no widows left alone, no shirts to hang before, no kid out in the cold, no widows on the walls, no widows on the floor.
I'll be very honest now, I've already pre-recorded a programme for Christmas. It's like the best of the sessions and records of the year. And within one of the programmes, say the two most beautiful tunes of the year are Get Well Soon by Sarah Beth Tuchek and also Try to Sleep by Low. And for some reason, I didn't mention that in the same breath because it's a truly wonderful song and it is one of my favourite tunes of the year. And that version will be going, Michelle, in one of the live shows over the Christmas. Absolutely wonderful, No Widows by the Antlers live in session. So, Peter, do you know the last time you came in was around the Hospice album?
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people have been through the same thing as me. When I was trying to explain to people what the album was about and what it was like, not only in the sounds, which is difficult to describe, but the actual concept of it, it's quite hard to do a sales pitch on it, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Because, I mean, it draws a comparison between an abusive relationship and the relationship between a nurse and a patient in a hospice.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, and people just look at me and go, oh. Well, fortunately, when they hear it, the music is so wonderful and it's all so intriguing that they just get caught in it, as I did. But the new album, Burst Apart, is that a different beast? I can't spot any kind of concept within it.
It's I think it's less of one clear concept and more about period of time and a lot of just different feelings and different moods and trying to answer different questions in life. I think it's a little more vague
Right.
and intentionally vague.
Yeah, I mean, not such a storytelling aspect to it in any kind of way. So, did you write a lot of this album, Burst Apart? Did you write that when you were touring Hospice, or did you wait until you'd gotten back and went to your studio?
We didn't really start writing songs until we got back from tour, which was, I guess, a little over a year ago. But I think during that time we were just brainstorming in a very general way and musically letting the music we were listening to influence us over time and let it seep into the kind of sounds we were making live and then eventually on record. And then as far as writing lyrics went, I was just trying to write everything down at the time and preparing to sort it out afterwards.
Right. So, and what music was it that you were listening to as you were traveling about?
I think it was a lot of music because we were traveling for a long time.
Yeah.
I think touring so much actually influenced the kind of music we were listening to because at least personally, I stopped listening to really abrasive stuff and I started listening to music that I could basically listen to for a long time, almost in the background.
Right.
And that ended up being a lot of electronic music and IDM and stuff like that and dub music and that would just be on in the van all the time and it just made its way into our brains somehow.
Right, okay. I did read an interview with you where you mentioned Motown.
Yeah, that was a big part of it too. One of our first tours, we just got really into all the old Motown soul stuff, and it was a bit of a starting point for us when we came to write the record.
Right, okay. And so at this point in time for the Antlers, do you feel that perhaps it's 2 years almost since you came in and played for us before? Do you think it's more of a coherent unit, more of a band? I'm not saying you sound any better or any worse. I'm not saying that. But it's been a progress for you, hasn't it, the album, the kind of genesis of the band, if you like?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a completely different band at this point, especially us all writing a record together and then touring. That being Burst Apart that we wrote together, as opposed to Hospice, which was written and recorded in a much different way when we were a really young band. I think making Burst Apart together and then touring on it for this since April has really changed us as a band, sonically and socially and otherwise.
Okay, and do you find the music that you're making on stage is changing as you progress?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, the same song. You might start with a song at the beginning of a tour, and then you go and tour it for 18 months. Is it a different beast by the time you get home?
It's very different because I think we're trying out different things every night and seeing what works and what doesn't. And then some things work for a while, and then you figure out a better way to do it. And you also want to keep yourself entertained, and you want to just be exploring new ideas. Especially us we have a lot of gear.
Yeah, you have.
and we just like experimenting with sound, so we're able to keep the songs changing throughout the past year or so.
Right, okay. And you've got your own studio, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we've got our studio in Brooklyn.
Okay, and did that make it a lot easier for you? Was it a very kind of relaxed experience to go in and do the album, not be under pressure from, the financial constraints and all that?
Yeah, I mean, we recorded the record basically for free because we have this studio and it's low rent. We just could go in there all day, every day for about 5 months and work at our own pace, and we were the only people in there, and it definitely was responsible for the way that the record ended up sounding.
I mean, you produced it yourselves, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it's an amazing sound record.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right then. And just to bring the tone down completely, it's in a place called Bushwick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it may not be the same way in America, but over here you've got both, it's slang name for both sexual genitalia.
Really?
Yeah. I'll explain to you a bit further later on. I mean, but I don't want to bring the tone down. I think I probably just have.
I think you just brought it up.
Yeah, I know. I wish I hadn't now. Michelle, will you edit that out? That didn't work at all. She's not listening. She's on the computer. So we're going to have another tune from you right now, actually, Peter. I know you want a quick drink of coffee, which is allowed, most definitely.
It's throat coat, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's very wise then. Okay. And you're going to do I Don't Want Love now, which is equally beautiful to No Widow. So I might well sob during this, but it is. I'm joking there, but I really, really, genuinely do love this tune and the album. So thanks for coming in, and I'll have another one, please.
You wanna climb up the stairs, I wanna push you back down, but I love you inside, so you can push me around. If I leave before you, and I walk out alone, keep your hands to yourself when you follow me home. I don't want love.
Pretty damn special, the Antlers live in session 4 was the last time tonight. I Don't Want Love. Absolutely brilliant, fellas. See you again next time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marc.
Thank you so much.
This is BBC Radio.